Good evening, campers. Welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist Mom, and welcome to Talk O Tuesday.
Well, when your mom asks to be on your YouTube channel, you really can't argue with that. Don't argue with your mother. Hello, everyone. I am Commander Exorcist, and welcome to Taco Tuesday. Welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. This is my weekly show where I take a look at Elite Dangerous and the lore sense, in the Galnet sense. Take a look at what's happening in the galaxy and, the behind-the-scenes stuff, the politics, the business, and the intrigue, and all the flavorful things that add a little bit of color to our game. And oh boy, we got a good one today, because this is a sequel. Today's video is a sequel, because last week we had Hadrian Duval, who had the gall to stand up and criticize the Emperor and her interactions with Aegis, which I've done that same thing, but I'm not that close to the Duval family. So, and his comments were pretty rough and pretty public. And so, Emperor Duval, Arissa Duval, has kind of this weird reputation. She's seen often, and I've seen this in the community, as kind of an aloof character or a weak character. Like, she's a weak emperor, like she's disconnected from the actual happenings of the empire. And I don't necessarily agree with that. And I think today, which has one of the best lines I think in any Galnet article ever published, I think today we get a true sense of who the Emperor really is. The strategic, the cunning, and the patient. We're going to take a look, because today, the sequel to Hadrian's Rage, comes the Emperor's Ire. Emperor Arissa Duval has responded to criticism from Hadrian Duval regarding her decision to contribute to Aegis. During a public address at the opening of the Naval Research and Development Complex on Achenar, the Emperor stated, "For the avoidance of doubt, my decree to halt interaction with the Alliance and Federation remains in effect. Whatever advancements in weaponry or defense that are made at these impressive facilities, they will be used exclusively by the Imperial Navy to protect Imperial citizens." Imperial isolationism is alive and well, and especially against the Federation. If you don't know, you should do some research and check out the history. There's a lot of bad blood between the Federation and the Empire. The Federation tried to conquer the Empire. I mean, they've tried to take Achenar. So there is a lot of bad blood between these superpowers. Unfortunately, an existential crisis like an alien invasion apparently doesn't seem to be enough to get everyone to work together. I don't get it. It's kind of strange. It's almost like what happens in the movies is not real life. This is more real life. Even facing certain destruction, we still find ways to not get along. Aegis' status as an independent agency makes it a legal exception to the Cornelius-Lasky Convention. Only a small fraction of the Empire's military expenditure is being devoted to Aegis' anti-Xeno forces. And that's exactly what I talked about, I think, in my previous video, maybe one before it, is that's a strategic move. You don't want to throw all of your material and your military resources into a conflict when you can devote a little bit of your resources into a joint collective that's developing new technologies and take advantage of those technologies, which is exactly what the Empire is doing. So it is a good decision on her part. Now, here, oh, poor Hadrian. Let's get into the response. You're a friend of the Empire for now. As for Hadrian Duval, some may recall when his Nova Imperium extremists once threatened to trigger wide-scale civil unrest. I chose to spare him from the fate of his co-conspirators, something Princess Aisling argued for with the same passion as showed for the Aegis project. So what she's saying here is that the princess was involved and projected that same passion for not executing Hadrian as she's doing for Aegis. So, yeah, Hadrian needs to count his blessings and watch his back. Unless Hadrian wishes to test my weak spirit further, I strongly advise him to keep such thoughts private in the future. The Emperor has just told you to shut the hell up. It's good advice. It really is. Poor Hadrian. I mean, the guy did try to lead a revolution, and bad all around. Bad all around. Excuse me. The altercation between Duvals triggered some debate in the Senate. Of course it did. It's all they do. They talk. They don't ever do anything. With Senator Petra Torval arguing that the emperor clearly viewed Hadrian Duval as an enemy of the empire. The matter was settled by a statement from Chancellor Anders Blaine. Now, before we get to this line, which I honestly believe is one of the best statements in Galnet, let's talk about the relationship here. And I talked about last week, I talked a lot about the strategic nature of the emperor, her position, and what she's doing with the empire. And this right here, perfect example. This is an all-out assault on Hadrian because he's a legitimate target. He does influence people. He does have people that listen to him. Nova Imperium is an example of that. And so the emperor would have been weak had she not said something. However, she's also showing strength of restraint by not lopping his head off and putting it in front of the imperial palace. That's totally within her power, I'm sure. But by not doing those kind of things and basically just putting out a message saying, Hadrian, shut your face, she's showing a remarkable restraint and a respect for the empire as a corporation, as an organization. So she is not the type of person who just goes out and massacres people for disagreeing with her. She doesn't like it when people are publicly critical, especially family members or close royals or stuff, which I could understand that. Stuff's been happening on Earth for thousands of years, and there's different ways of handling it. And so we got this. So let's get to the last statement here. The Treaty of Parisa binds all former members of Nova Imperium as subjects to the throne. Her Majesty has delivered a reminder that Hadrian Duval is not officially a prince of the royal family, but is nevertheless considered a loyal ally for as long as it pleases the emperor. When I read that earlier today, I got chills. I thought that was so cool. Notice what she did. Emperor Duval came out and she's like, he needs to keep his thoughts private. You know, he can test me, but he needs to keep quiet, or he will be testing me. And she's willing to have a show of strength to prove her point. But then, in a wonderful strategic move, she doesn't issue kind of the ultimate official statement. She has Anders Blaine do it. He is nevertheless considered a loyal ally for as long as it pleases the emperor. That statement strikes at the core of what the empire is. It is autonomous. It is absolute. There are people within the empire that disagree with leadership. There are ways to handle that. Someone like Hadrian, he's just a power-hungry weirdo. And his Nova Imperium people and their interactions with the empire and the things that have gone on in the past, it's just really destabilizing activity when we're in a war where we need stabilization. And if this sounds like propaganda, maybe it is, because I am an imperial man. This is my emperor. And I agree with her. If he's got something to say, I guarantee you he wouldn't say that to her face. I guarantee it, that he wouldn't have said some of that stuff to her face. He'll run to the press with it. But she's willing to say that stuff to him. And so he's not officially a prince. He's not royalty. And he got a stern reminder of that. So very glad that the emperor took time to backhand smack Hadrian Duval, remind him of his place among the stars, and that is as a loyal servant of the Empire of Achenar. Ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for joining me. And wow, there's so much going on, so much crazy stuff. And in the middle of a war, we're fighting and losing. We've got this nonsense going on, this infighting, these power struggles. I mean, I'll give it to Hadrian Duval. She's actually working and doing something. Hadrian and all his cronies and all these other people, they're just trying to take advantage of opportunities to make themselves rich and powerful, and it's really annoying. The disciples. Thank you, everyone who supports this channel. I really appreciate your support. These are the disciples that make this content possible. If you would like to support me, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. I have special videos that come out from my patrons, typically a monthly blog and other stuff. So if you would like to support me and help out, please feel free. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate your support. It's getting hot in the Empire. Is Hadrian going to go missing? I would count on it. I would count on Hadrian just disappearing one day. But hey, who knows? I guess we'll find out. Hey, everyone, take care. Watch your backs out there. It's dangerous. There's a war going on. So fly safe, 07, and I will see you out there.